Cool, there we go. I feel like my face is puffy on this shit. What's good? I got this camera reversed, so I'm bugging out right now. Alright. I just wanted to check in real quick. As y'all can see, I'm obviously comfortable again with being back on YouTube and talking to my audience, whoever that is. Um, I don't really, like I said, I never really have a plan. I don't want to make it seem like these are rants, but just my experience with YouTube, I'm more of a person that has to say how I feel and express how I feel when I'm inspired, when that moment comes up. Then I'm able to shoot a video. But just now getting back into the swing with everything with YouTube, I have been more consistent for myself with saying, okay, I know after a couple of days I got to check in, and that's good for me. It's more of a marker, it's more of a consistency marker for me. And still just getting used to the swings of YouTube. It's different. It's different. Like, still not seeing, not seeing the growth that I'm expecting to see, but still staying consistent. And this is a marker for me. I am seeing growth, but not the growth once again that I would like to see, but that's okay. This is an experiment. This is a journey. I'm staying positive. I'm trying to stay focused with growing that and just connecting with whoever is watching the channel. And I don't know. I don't want this to seem like a struggling artist, underground artist channel, because I know that there's, other people that have already been discussing, you know, information and tips on how to progress if you're a struggling underground artist. That's not the case with me here. I was very clear, and I am very clear. I do music, and my journey is to be a successful independent musician one day, whether that's 5, 10 years from now, and we'll look back at these videos and hopefully we'll smile and feel good about the decision that we made. But we've been doing music for a long time now, over a decade, and longer than a decade, but just going through the trials and tribulations from when I first started grinding, coming out of high school, MySpace era, then Facebook, kind of, not really Facebook, but really MySpace music, and then that transition to YouTube, then SoundCloud, then you had like Reverb Nation. Once again, as I was saying, when I first started doing music, you had all these platforms, Reverb Nation, SoundCloud, and I still push on SoundCloud. I like SoundCloud a lot. I like SoundCloud because to me it's a place for artists. It's a community for artists. People will probably say that it's dead right now, but I'm a firm believer in just being consistent with certain things that I like. So I'll probably still continue to always upload music to SoundCloud, and I enjoy the platform, whether it's alive or not right now. And I was watching a couple interviews with Russ, studying his journey, and his story was pretty interesting. Somebody did ask him in one of the interviews, I think it was in the $1 Million Worth of Game interview that he had, they asked him if he would still recommend SoundCloud, and he said no. Part of me is like, if I'm already successful off of that platform, obviously you're probably going to say no so that market doesn't get flooded, you know what I mean? But it is what it is. I'm still staying consistent with SoundCloud. There's still tons of artists on SoundCloud. I still get a lot of love on SoundCloud. So if you haven't, follow me on SoundCloud as well, at Paul Straun. But YouTube, as we know, is the holy grail. YouTube is, as many will say, is the NBA of YouTube, and is the NBA YouTube. YouTube is the NBA of the game. I had to rephrase that there. But it's right now extremely hard, obviously. Harder than it was. When I started on YouTube, it was like 11 years ago. Like, you can look me up now. I've probably mentioned it in other videos. You can look me up and you'll see videos from 11 years ago. And back then, there weren't as many people on it. And we really didn't know what to do as artists. Back in the day, it was all covers. Like, everybody was just doing covers to get on. And at one point, many people on YouTube might remember this. Artists were ruling it. I won't say necessarily artists, but people doing covers. You had people just doing covers. I mean, people that, like, that's all YouTube was. It was just covers, and you had people like YouTube would get the feature board for people that were doing these covers, and like original content wasn't even getting out there like that because of all of these covers. The irony of that right now is that now you have all of these type beats and producers that are becoming successful off of type beats. Excuse me. And my question always was, what happens to the artist now? Because the producer, thankfully, and thank God that we have all these great producers that are making music with these type beats on YouTube. Because I've been blessed to be able to find a lot of these great sounds for my songs too, and to help my catalog. And of course, I do, try to credit or do my best to credit that producer if they have their information accessible for me to credit them. But where does the artist go now? What does the artist do to further themselves in this saturated market? And then of course we see what's going on in the industry. We see the main game, and we know that if you really want to, you can probably cash in your chips. You can go and do all of these specific steps to get signed to a deal. But we're talking about the independent grind, right? We're talking about what we see right now on YouTube, how there's people that are successful on YouTube independently as artists, and they don't need a label. And that's where we feel most comfortable, having complete control and understanding our business completely, and having our hand in our business completely 100%, and having control of our artistry, our destiny, and everything going on with our career. But where YouTube is, where that's a challenge, is one, it's oversaturated. Two, now we have, before it was all a lot of artistry, people that were doing music. Now it's a lot of people covering music, the gossip in music. Then you have people more so doing antics in order to get themselves further within their music careers. And then I feel like you have people such as myself that, like, I'm a full-bred artist. Like, I just constantly eat, breathe, and sleep music. I want to be in the studio all the time, and I want to produce and record and constantly make music all the time. It's like an addiction, and I can't help it. It is something that I love, but at the same time, it's that blessing and curse type of thing there. And I'm so passionate about it. It's more of a thing where I need to prove it for myself. And that's where I was watching the Russ interviews, and there was inspiration there. Of course, I got inspired there, but I'm always doing research. I'm always trying to learn more of how I can further myself as an independent artist, and how I can grow as an independent artist. And I love the fact of being self-made and having control of everything and learning more. And I feel confident and I feel strong having my hand in everything that I'm doing. I will, as things get further, we'll discuss deeper things. This channel is always going to be music. Maybe later down the line, I'm also a big fan of business. I love business, the actual principles of business. And I have a small degree in business. I have an associate's degree in business marketing. I don't really put that out there, but that's something that you guys can know. I never really went and got the bachelor's degree because I wasn't sure. I didn't even really want to go to school. I was already on that tip. I started recording when I was 14, 15. So I was like, fuck that. I'm about to just make this music and go to the top. But, that's not realistic. It's not realistic. My parents were on me. My father's Jamaican. I come from my mom, I'm Jamaican, as they would call. So half American, half Jamaican, but I come from being raised in a Jamaican background household. So this music shit, listen, if you're not on the radio, you're not popping, you're not getting nowhere. So you need to go out and get a job. You got to work. You got to do something to help pay the bills and further yourself. You got to go to school. They're not taking this music serious. So that really drove me even more and pushed me to wanting to get to a place where I could do this, where I could just even express how I feel and talk. This was vital for my mental health, my mental space in my life. And I went through years because I had to go through high school and all that peer pressure and all of that shit. And now I'm finally here where I can express and discuss how I feel. And I thank God for that. That's a blessing for me. already within itself to be at this point, to be creating videos and just talking and expressing the journey. So now it's like it doesn't even matter if, you know, I don't get any views on these videos now. It's more of the legacy aspect and the more therapeutic aspect. But that doesn't mean I don't want to grow. I want to continue to grow this channel. I want to continue to put out good music, and I do want to be accepted for those sounds. But at the same time, as I've said before, and I'll probably always say it, you guys got to know me for me. I got to check in like this every now and then and just touch base with you guys and let you know what it is, what's going on with me, where I'm at consciously. I may not come here and give you guys an exact, like, oh, I'm doing this, I may not give you an exact to-do or daily of what I'm going to be doing in my personal life for today. But these check-ins are for me to just kind of express how I feel, let y'all know that, I am here. I'm conscious. I'm aware of everything that's going on. I see everybody's going crazy with these with the stocks right now. And be careful with all of that too. Make sure you research whatever you are going to invest into before you spend your money on it. Because I might have, jumped onto the hype too a little bit with some things, but I didn't do anything more than I can't, afford. But that's a different topic. As far as the music though, I'm gonna be putting out more content. Like I said, this channel, you guys will, I'll always, depends how I feel, I'll always let you guys come into my life aspect and see where I'm at. And that's it. That's about it. I just wanted to check in with y'all. If you haven't, please like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll be on the check-in with y'all. Love y'all. Peace.